Hey everyone, it is Dani and welcome to this update video this morning. I hope you're doing really great, and we're going to be taking a look at 4 disturbances. That's right, there's an additional disturbance marked out in the main development region. So that area, that tropical wave that I was watching to the west of 99L has now been marked by the National Hurricane Center. So we're going to be taking a look at all that is expected along with Hurricane Hilary over in the Eastern Pacific, which is now a powerful Category 4 hurricane. And so before I go into details, please do subscribe if you haven't yet done so, and tap the bell so that you never miss an important video. Alright, so here is the powerful cyclone over in the Pacific. So Hilary has been rapidly intensifying, and some additional intensification is likely. And so currently it has maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour and moving to the west-northwest at 13 miles per hour. So you can see that as of right now, the strongest winds are offshore, and it should remain a hurricane, a major hurricane rather, as we're going to be heading throughout today and even going into tomorrow. So it has some time left over, very warm waters and overall conducive conditions to further intensify. And I don't think that it is impossible for it to even become a Category 5. But as of the latest update, the National Hurricane Center is expecting it to peak with winds of 150 miles per hour. So there are tropical storm and hurricane watches in place, as well as a tropical storm warning for the southern portion of the Baja California Peninsula. Tropical storm watch also in effect for the northwestern part of Mexico. So tropical storm conditions could be experienced within the next 2 days or so, and then hurricane conditions could possibly bear down in the areas under hurricane watches within the next 48 hours or so. So around this weekend, go into the early part of the new week, and then eventually Hilary is going to be rapidly weakening because it is going to move out of conducive conditions, and as it weakens, though, it is going to be moving inland into the western part of the U.S., going to Southern California, Nevada, even up into other states right along the Oregon, Idaho border right there as a post-tropical cyclone. So this is very interesting here, and so very heavy rainfall will be unleashed in many areas. That flood threat is going to be there. That storm surge is also going to be an issue, so coastal areas could experience that rise in the sea level caused by the winds of the cyclone pushing the water on shore, and also that increased risk of those rip currents. So guys, if you're to be affected by this, if you're under a watch or warning, please stay safe and do not take any unnecessary risks. And so let's now go over into the Atlantic basin, and here we can see that it is getting pretty festive out there. So we have our 4 disturbances to watch. So before we delve deep into all these disturbances, we want to take a look at what is currently happening. So we're beginning with parts of the South Caribbean and northern South America, and here we can see that there is some activity in some parts of Colombia, especially northern Colombia, going to southern Venezuela, and even in some spots in the Guyanas there is some activity moving in as well. And then as we head into the vicinity of the ABC Islands, we're not seeing where too much is happening, but as we head into the southwest Caribbean near Nicaragua, off the coast of Panama, there we see that there is some activity popping up over there. Let's head further up to the north, and we can see that there isn't a whole lot happening across the Caribbean on a whole. Still a lot of moisture over in the east, so that is helping to produce some more showers and thunderstorms across parts of the Lesser Antilles. And I saw the comments from you guys about the rainfall in your area, and I mean, it's been really good that there is some activity because it has been so hot and dry, and it looks as though that is going to be continuing for some areas as we head through today. As we head into the vicinity of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, especially near St. Croix, there we can see some thunderstorms right offshore. And then that next disturbance to watch, which will be moving into the Gulf, that is the activity in association with it. So as we head into the early to mid part of next week, we could see this try to become something over there, but only time will tell. For other spots in Central America, not much happening. Similar story for Jamaica, most of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, nothing crazy going on. And also for Hispaniola, some scattered showers and thunderstorms across parts of the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas. And now we want to go ahead and move on to the rainfall activity expected as we're going to be heading through today. And so here we can see that the map becomes pretty colorful across some areas. So those are the areas expected to receive a lot of of heavy rainfall. So across some spots in Nicaragua, especially closer to the Caribbean coast, headed to Costa Rica, Panama, there could be some substantial rainfall activity through today. Similar story across some spots in Colombia, Venezuela, going over into the Guyanas, and as I said, across the Lesser Antilles. It is likely that there's going to be some additional rainfall activity for some spots, so some areas could experience periods of very heavy rainfall, and the rainfall chance get less as we head further up north, going into some areas such as Anguilla, St. Barthélemy, even for St. Kitts and Nevis, Ceiba, St. Eustatius, also for St. Martin, going into Barbuda. So those areas might not receive as much rainfall compared to the rest of the Lesser Antilles. Some rainfall activity expected nearby the ABC Islands. Hopefully there will actually be some rainfall across the islands because it has been pretty dry there, I know that for sure. And then as we head to Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, parts of Cuba, there could be some activity popping up, especially as we head to later today across the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos Islands. A lot of heavy rainfall expected there as well, and we could see some thunderstorms in some spots across Jamaica, even a bit of rainfall for the Cayman Islands as we progress through today, and some storms likely popping up in some parts of Florida. So that is what is expected in terms of the rainfall forecast. And now we're going to be moving on back to what the National Hurricane Center has. Here we have our 4 areas, and we're going to be moving westward here. So we're starting out with Invest 98L, which is furthest to the east. So this disturbance is located to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands and is given a high 70% chance to possibly develop over the course of the next 7 days. So the chance is high for this one to get itself together. As of right now, it is still pretty disorganized, but we could see it take advantage of favorable conditions before things get a bit more unfavorable out there for it to develop. As we head toward Invest 99L, though, something pretty interesting, a decrease in the formation chance. So it is in close proximity to that new disturbance. So 99L is now given a lower chance to develop. The chance was at 60%, and now that has dropped to 40. That's a 20% drop between yesterday and this morning here. So very interesting stuff. And then our next disturbance, not yet designated as an invest, but likely to become Invest 90L. We're seeing that there's a 20% chance that something could develop in this area, and this is going to be a problem for the Caribbean in terms of that very heavy rainfall, which is likely to unleash flooding across some areas. So if you're in the Eastern Caribbean, the Lesser Antilles, going up to Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, you want to keep an eye on this because it is likely that we might see this try to spin into something, but there is absolutely no guarantee of that happening. Models are hinting at it actually developing into a tropical storm, but that isn't guaranteed. As we can see, the formation chance is low, but this is also newly highlighted. So this is the disturbance that I was talking about for a couple of days now, this tropical wave ahead of Invest 99L, and here we have the National Hurricane Center now attaching a formation chance to it. So it could become something out there, and we're going to be taking a look at what models have to show. So let's see how it trends over the next couple of days, but it should make its way into the region as we head into the early part of next week, and we'll see what happens thereafter. And then we're looking at this final disturbance over in the Gulf of Mexico, which has a 30% chance to develop. That area is to the north of Hispaniola, so it should continue, as I said, into the Gulf, where we could see something try to get itself together over there. But regardless, if we're talking about even a big blob, that could unleash flooding across some areas. And so guys, now we're going to be taking a look at the ensemble members for both GFS and Euro over the course of the next several days. So we're starting out with the Euro members, and so as we head into Tuesday of next week, there we have a lot of them sniffing at that Gulf system, that disturbance that will be moving in, and then they're also showing that new disturbance making its way into the Caribbean, whatever's left of 99L, 98L, and then a new tropical wave that will be emerging as we head into the early part of the new week. And then look at this, as we're going to be heading into Thursday of next week, the members showing that that Gulf system will be moving into Texas. Some expecting that it could make its way over into parts of northeastern Mexico. And then as for the new disturbance, we're seeing this northwestward track expected, but look how diverse the different members are. So there is no guarantee with the track of it or even the timing of when it will start to take on that northwestward track. So it could move further west, head into areas such as Jamaica, and it could make that turn sooner once it enters, going close to or over his spinula and getting pulled up. And then we see that much isn't expected of 99L nor 98L up to this point. That next tropical wave continuing, and then another one that is going to be making its way off the coast. So it's that kind of story where these tropical waves will be coming off and they'll be given that chance of seeing development of them because they move into conducive conditions. We're heading to that active period. As a matter of fact, it has begun. Pretty much the reason we have so many disturbances out there right now. And then as we head to Saturday of next week, take a look at this. A lot going on out there in the main development region. So that Caribbean wave will definitely be one to watch. Again, it is likely to unleash heavy rainfall in some areas. And as we head closer and closer to the time frame, as it approaches, we'll have a better picture of the areas that will be most impacted by it. And of course, I'm not going to be keeping you guys in the dark, so I'll be sharing all of that information with you. And then as we head to the GFS ensemble members, we can see here that they're also picking up on those systems out there as we head to Monday. This is as we head to Monday, not showing much becoming of 99L, that Caribbean wave moving on that northwest track sooner rather than later. So GFS members not really expecting that this is going to be moving far in before it starts to move back out into the Atlantic. And then as we head to the middle of the week, we're seeing that for some reason there isn't much support from the GFS members to see some development of that Gulf system, which would be some good news because we don't need a strong system to be making landfall right now. But there we have the members expecting the Caribbean wave to be moving up on that mostly northward track. And then there we can see the other systems out there. And eventually, as we're going to be heading into the latter of the week, going to Friday of next week, the 25th, here we can see that the GFS members are also showing that we could be seeing something coming from the Western Caribbean, and this isn't the first time it's been showing that, and other models are also picking up on it. But of course, as we head into the new week, we'll have a pretty good picture of what's ahead, and I'm here to keep you guys posted on all that is happening. And other models such as the Icon is expecting that, hey, we could see the system making its way into the Caribbean for sure. So let's move on to the Icon. So all these different colors you're seeing, that is representative of the precipitation rate. So as we head into Tuesday of next week, the 22nd of August, there we have that Gulf system and whatever is left of 99L and that new tropical wave entering the Caribbean, lingering in the east at this point, and those other two systems out there. That's the new tropical wave yet to emerge off the coast. Icon is showing that as we head to Wednesday, the system in the Caribbean will start to make that northward track over Hispaniola and making its way out, where we could see some development take place out there. This is quite interesting. So only time will tell what's going to be happening with these systems, guys. And of course, I'm here to keep you posted so that you're never caught off guard. So that is what I wanted to share with you in this update. And I hope you found this video to be quite informative. It has been lengthy. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will respond once I get the chance to. And as always, remember to be otherwise.